Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Think Tank Sports. Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen. Check us out on the socials, if you will. The Spotify for podcasters is our preferred uh, listening venue, but you can do any of the others. We're out there. Um, Pay attention to us on the social media. We've got stuff out there and looking for your comments. And you can connect with us there. And you can, of course, watch us on YouTube as we continue our YouTube journey here. You can see my compadre Mike waving on the other side of the room, or the other side of the state, as we like to say from time to time here. Getting all excited for talking some NBA playoffs. Mike, how the heck are you this evening?
Dave, I'm doing good. Doing very good. Just fired up like that dude ringing the cowbell in the ear of the Golden State Warriors GM while
Oh
sitting in
my gosh.
the stands there against the Kings. What a scene. How can he just, is it Rob Pelinka? Oh, that's the
No, Rob
Lakers
Pelinka is the
guy.
Lakers. Yeah, I don't remember I don't remember
I can't
his
remember
name.
his name. If someone said it, I'd know it. But
Yeah.
just stoic, like it's not even happening, and it's literally right in his ear. It's unbelievable video.
He probably had earplugs in, if I had to guess.
I would hope for his sake, man, because
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean,
unreal. And those are not easy seats to get either.
No.
To bring the cowbell and just relentless. Good for him.
Yeah.
And good for the guy that stared down your boy Russell Westbrook. We'll get to him and his son. His son's an animal, by the way. I don't know if you've seen this.
I'm just laughing because I heard somebody say, and I don't know why this is the first time I've heard this, is Westbrook. This is his nickname.
Yeah, that's why he got all upset. That's why he wanted to show that, because he was getting called Westbrook from the sideline.
Well, when you shoot 3 for 19 from the field, or 3 for 16 or whatever it was, you have to expect there's going to be some brick comments. I mean, come on, Russ.
Defensive play to win the game against Booker was
right. The big block on the drive and
hitting it off of him out of bounds.
Yeah.
So it was, just a tremendous athletic play. So you got to take the good with the bad, I guess, but he certainly willed them to a win. But where do we want to start? Where do you want to jump into, buddy?
Whew. Well, when you look at, if we go back in the Wayback Machine, as we like to talk about, to Sunday, when you had the 4 game ones, Mike, and you had three of the road teams win,
right?
I think was just tremendous. Of course, my Lakers just play really, really well, and 128 points against Memphis, and a lot of people had said that watch out for the Lakers, but you needed to see them in the playoffs and do things. And I think you saw in that game,
Rui Hachimura scores 21, right?
Yeah. The formula that has made the Lakers successful over the last, month and a half of the season is with the other players stepping up, and LeBron, of course, he was out a lot of that time, but taking a back seat. And so you see Hachimura come off the bench and score. And I thought this was crazy, Mike. The most points ever scored coming off the bench in Lakers history with 29. Yes, beating a Michael Cooper record from 1988. So, yeah, Hachimura is on fire. 11 of 14, 5 of 6 from 3, 29 points. Austin Reeves goes for 23. And look, they had 5 players in double figures, and 4 players scored 20 or more. It just it looked really good, and then Ja Morant comes down on his hand, and then he's out for game 2, but we'll talk about that. But the Lakers play great. Mike, I think the biggest surprise for me, and we had talked about this before the playoffs started, was Miami scoring 130 in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely shot the lights out, obviously, but yeah, you would think against uh, a Milwaukee Buck defense that would not happen at all. And I guess Giannis hurt his back in this, and he's got a back contusion.
Yes.
Um, and so that was, obviously a major factor. Uh, but still, you just wouldn't expect Miami. And we saw when these two played again, um, a big
Yeah.
difference in their shooting. But still,
Yeah.
um, you just wouldn't expect that outcome that lopsided. I could see Miami winning a gritty foul shooting, someone hits a big three at the end kind of game, but not like this
Yeah.
barn burner offensive explosion. I didn't think they had it in, frankly.
No, and we talked about it. There's really just challenged offensively, but they shot 59% from the field, Mike, and 60% from three, and just rolled. But like you said, when you get to game two, a lot more what you would expect. Oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking about a different, I don't know what game I was thinking about. Oh, what else? And then, the Clippers and Kawhi, plays great. They still have no preseason, mid-season, no postseason P, as Mike likes to say. And the Clippers steal it.
Is he out for the postseason now, or just the series?
I think they've just said the series right now. But yeah, the Clippers go into Phoenix and take game one, and Kawhi does Kawhi things. And
turn back the clock, Toronto Kawhi for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
You forget how good he really is. He's definitely slept on when talked about the best players in the league, and rightfully so, because all of his injuries and that weird year between San Antonio and Toronto where he had a thigh injury, quote unquote, and all of that, doesn't help him when you're talking about the better players in the league. But
No.
you see a game like this, a series like this, where he can just be so dominant both ends of the ball. It really, was a vintage Kawhi. That's not just that's thrown around too much, that we're, the vintage or throwback game, but this truly was, I thought.
Yeah. Well, and after two games, Mike, at 34.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and shooting 54% from the field.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, those are as red, it's as red hot as you could be. But yeah, he seems to have suffered from that a little bit. And then the last game, game one, was just blowout city with Denver, taking out the T-Wolves, the toothless T-Wolves, I'm going to call them, because they're just
pathetic.
They're just a joke, as far as that goes. The Sixers have played well against the Nets. I guess we skipped a bunch of series because go back a day with the other 4 series that started. But yeah, the Phillies, my gosh, the Sixers, your Celtics look very good, Mike, through a couple of games against Atlanta. I had heard Kevin Lockery, the former NBA coach and player, saying he thought Atlanta, that wouldn't be an easy series. The Celtics are making it look very easy against kind of an overmatched Atlanta team right now.
There was one of those blind player polls around the league, and the players were asked to name the most overrated player in the league, and the player receiving the most votes,
Trae Young. Yeah, so nice he had to endure the overrated chants from the nice and friendly Boston fans.
Definitely not racist at all.
I said nice and friendly. I didn't say either of those, but yeah. So Celtics look good. Sacramento, Mike, we wanted to know how that was going to go with the I'm still going to call them the Queens until I see
That's-
otherwise. But
They
you
might
know,
make you change your mind.
yeah, they might. Really nice game one, back and forth affair against the Warriors. And then
Remember
they,
when they traded Halliburton and everyone was losing their mind, probably us included. Like, what are they
yeah,
doing? And
well, yeah, because they drafted him. He was so good. I think,
right, but he
yeah,
healed all those. Like they seem to cycle through them quickly. But look where it got him
yep,
with this lineup is it, and they complement each other. Sabonis is like the perfect fit to the way they play defense. Really uh, impressive. And we talked about this in the college game a little bit. Impressive to see a front office and an ownership group and a coaching staff all have a plan and execute it over a couple of years, and an owner with enough uh, patience to let it breathe a little bit and not,
yep.
cut it short after a year. So I think only onwards and upwards for this Kings team. And that is irregardless of my, Kevin Herter love, who is also playing very well. Playing
Yes.
very good
Yeah.
defense.
And, kudos
yeah.
to Mike Brown, who this week was named Coach of the Year. Very
Yeah.
well deserving. He
Absolutely.
has certainly been around the league and has plenty of experience. Really a good match, as you say, in Sacramento for the kinds of things that they're trying to do. Mike, of course, you have the incident in the fourth quarter of this game. So Draymond Green, goes up and Sabonis comes down. He's on the ground. Draymond Green, comes down for, after trying to get a rebound. Sabonis grabs his leg. Draymond Green, tries to get going, which is how I saw it, quite honestly. And I went back and watched the video 5 or 6 times to really get a good sense of it. I don't think Draymond Green was intentional in any way. I think he's trying to move, right? The ball comes down and the play is going the other way. And Sabonis grabs his leg. So he's kind of stuck and he's trying to move, and he ends up, if you take it, in a small segment, it looks like he's stomping on him. Well, stomping on him, I mean, what else is he going to do? And which is what Draymond Green said. What else am I going to do? Where else? I'm not, he literally said, I'm not that flexible. I got to put my foot down somewhere. And he's not going to he's not just going to, bail out and fall down. He's trying to get moving down the court. So I thought that was a bit much. They give him the flagrant 2, they eject him. Now he is suspended for game 3, which I thought was completely ridiculous. And not only that, Mike, but the NBA comes out and says his previous behaviors was a factor in this decision. Really?
Yeah, of course it was. Of course it was. You can't be a jackass your whole life and have something like this happen and get the benefit of the doubt. In a vacuum, you're probably right, but you're wrong because he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. Whatever little push or for perceivable extra force he might have used, any benefit of the doubt, he used up 18 million technical fouls and podcasts ago and rants about other players and referees and all of the nonsense that he's gotten away with and not gotten away with in the past. So yeah, like you said, in a vacuum, yeah, what else is he supposed to do? I agree on a human level, but he just doesn't get the benefit of the doubt anymore. So you reap what you sow, and this is what he's sowing.
Well, that's fair, Mike.
Too harsh? Is that too
harsh?
No,
it's fine. That's the stance, I think, of a lot of people. My stance is a little bit different, obviously. And I just think it's ridiculous that he got suspended. So we'll see what happens. I think
the suspension was probably a bridge too far, but doesn't it come with the flagrant 2
I don't believe so.
Penalty or no?
I don't believe so. No, because then they came out. No, because it didn't come out until the next day. If that was an automatic suspension, they would have said it right away. Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. Game 3 tonight. in Golden State. And look, Vegas says Golden State's going to win. They're favored by 6.5 points in this game, Mike. Both games have been really close. That's kind of surprising to me. I think that the line
Also,
is
they
that
have
much.
well, they have Golden State winning the series still in Vegas. It's almost even money both ways, so it wouldn't be beneficial right now to bet the series. But they still down 2-0. Still Vegas, thinks it's still Golden State. I don't know, buddy. They haven't shown it to me so far, and they strike me as an all donut team, as my dad used to say, just a big hole in the middle. They just have nothing in the middle,
Yeah.
and so you can get away with that for a long time, but it's coming back to bite them because of the athleticism of their opponent with the size.
Yeah.
They just can't match that size, and
No.
that's killing them. So I don't know that the answer, is currently on that bench or on a play call or a scheme or an effort. Even if sure, Clay and Steph are going to have one of their games kind of where they're going to just make everything, but
Yep.
it's just not going to be enough. So.
Yeah, and it's interesting. They only won 11 games on the road this past year, and
Right.
we talked about this. They were at 9 wins until the last 2 games of the year on the road, so they're a much better team at home. My guess is that's why they're favored in this game by as much. So let's see. But I agree with you, Mike. I think overall Sacramento is more talented, more balanced. And now the fact that they're up 2-0, if Golden State comes out tonight, and I'm sure Mike Brown is going to talk to the Queens about this, that Golden State's going to come out hot. They've got to weather the storm there,
Oh yeah.
And get through that. And if they can do that, I mean, even if they lose tonight, the Kings are still in great shape to advance in this series.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Probably one of the more compelling series going on, right now, certainly in the West. So, anything else from that Saturday that we didn't cover, buddy?
No,
Knicks,
but just
Knicks Cavs. I mean, what was a vintage Julius Randle, made a lot of his shots. Everyone shot well for the Knicks. Cavaliers, their bench is short, and it shows. Their second team is just getting blown off the floor, and they just can't compete on that level. So it's going to be an uphill battle for the Cavs for sure going forward. But I thought that was going to be more competitive than that first game was, even though the score was only 4 points. I don't know. I've always felt like the Knicks were just in control comfortably.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know what you thought. Yeah.
Nope, for sure. And good for the Knicks to get that road win there, get the split. The Cavs bounce back in game 2,
Right.
shoot almost 50% from the field. The Knicks, can't
Right.
throw it in the ocean, 24% on threes. Really just kind of getting buried as far as that goes. And so the Cavs are able to even that up series at one game apiece. That is.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that'll be compelling going forward. Who can make those shots, especially down the stretch. We know where the Knicks are going with the ball, although Brunson and Hart to some level certainly have emerged also as options down the stretch. But it's Julius Randle's team still. Seeing that again here in these playoffs. So.
Yep, for sure. As we mentioned, as we move through here, the Celtics, with another good win. Phoenix bounces back against the Clippers and has a good win in game 2. So that series, has the inklings of going a long way, but now we got to see for how long Kawhi is out. He's out for game 3 with a sprained knee. The commentary around that is interesting because they've limited him in back-to-backs, so that he could play in these big games. And we talked about it. He's been incredible for 2 games, and now he's not playing in game 3, which.
Right. It's just.
Yep. There's just no place for it. It just,
Stuff.
Play the games. Come on.
Right.
This is a huge series. So the Suns shoot 58% there in game 2. Way to balance it out.
Like they finally, like the second half of the fourth quarter of the game 1 and then all of game 2, it's starting to click a little between, Durant and Paul and Booker. And there's only one basketball, and then everyone's makes that observation. That's a quick and easy thing to say, and it's some level true. But who's really the alpha? And I think it's probably Chris Paul. I think Durant would be happy to be the beta to Chris Paul. And he's certainly been called that before by many people. The interesting thing to me is whether Devin Booker is willing to subject himself when push comes to shove. And so far he has, and I'm not saying I'm not observing anything. I haven't seen any tweets, but he's human. He went from it's him and 8 into the future of this team. And all of a sudden we can get Chris Paul and really accelerate what we're doing, and Bridges and all these guys. And now, Durant comes in, and now I'm going backwards on the totem pole, so to speak. It's just, he is human. So any thoughts on that, Dave, or am I just
no, I mean, I
projecting
think
my weaknesses on someone other?
No, I think they've split the series here, so now we need to get into some of these big moments and see what happens. I've heard a lot of conversation that, look, Durant is an all-time great, and if it comes down to who is taking the ball at the end of the game, a lot of arguments, and I don't disagree with it at all, that Durant's the one that should have the ball. I mean, he has made all of the big shots over his career. He's just a tremendous basketball player, and you can tell, look, he played 44 minutes in this game. So he's
healthy. Yeah.
He's there. He's healthy. He's the guy, but that's, in the context of Kevin Durant all time. Now, where does he fit on this team, and how does that play out? I think it remains to be seen, Mike, kind of like what you're saying, a little bit. And, will Booker, pass on that, if you will, basketball joke, or does Booker say he wants the ball, or does Chris Paul say it's my ball?
Another team with no bench is the Suns. Underrated loss in that trade was Cam Johnson. Everyone knew Miles Bridges was going to be a loss, but you had to pay something to get something.
And Mikal Bridges too.
Yeah, him too. Him and his brother.
Him and his brother. But no, I totally agree. In this game, Durant,
Johnson,
right? And Cam Johnson's a huge loss. Durant 44 minutes, Booker 45, Paul 38. Minimal contributions from the bench. 13 points total from the Suns bench. So it's the starters or nothing, really, as far as that goes. So it's going to be interesting to see how that continues to play out.
Who else, real quick?
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers just had every chance to go up 2-0 and absolutely laid a bleeping egg last night against against a Grizzlies team that was shorthanded with no Ja Morant. 41% from the field, no Steven Adams, and they haven't had Steven Adams since January, but
that's still a fact.
Just obnoxious. It balanced out in the second half, but the Grizzlies had over 40 points in the paint in the first half. Just totally obnoxious. Lakers just not playing well, and kudos to the Grizzlies, that they are able to play And they had 6 players in double figures in this game, Mike, and they didn't have Ja Morant.
Well,
And
it's
they've
an
got,
open secret in Memphis that they're better when Ja's not in the game.
yes, yes.
And because of this, Ty Jones, who comes in and is just as quick, doesn't have as much explosiveness, obviously, in his legs, maybe scoring ability overall, but certainly super effective point guard, and would be probably a starter on most teams in the NBA and will be at some point. So
yeah, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists.
yeah, and just high basketball IQ, and has the respect, commands the respect of his team while he's on the court. So everything you want in a point guard. So good opportunity for him, and maybe for Memphis to not show Ja, because I think ultimately they're going to pay him and keep him, if they can. But he's not as invaluable as he might think. Maybe he shouldn't be at the strip club with the gun.
Yeah, well, there's all of that.
Right.
Mike, then the only other thing that was just, the Bucks, and still the Heat scored 122 in this game, which is just shocking to me. But this was the Bucks game all the way. I mean, they were, what were they up 81-55 at halftime? Right. And no Giannis in this game. So, they just went crazy. I mean, 25, this is where we are at. It is the high 30s and beyond in attempts from 3 from every team. 25 of 49 from 3 from Milwaukee. 51%, but 25 of 49.
Imagine either one of our basketball coaches or fathers growing up ever allowing someone to shoot that much, even let alone miss that much as a team.
Yeah, it's just
laughs forever.
Yeah. So huge comeback game there for the Bucks to tie that series at 1, and then Denver just keeps taking out what's left of the toothless Wolves there. So Denver's up.
Somebody gets Anthony Edwards out of there, because I think he's salvageable.
Yeah,
you can have Karl-Anthony Towns and all those guys.
So you got Sacramento up 2-0, you got Philly up 2-0, you got Denver up 2-0, and a bunch of other series that are kind of split right now.
As a Boston fan, I'd like to see Philly be challenged a little more, because that's what we're heading on a collision course for. But
and the Nets are giving them a little trouble. Well, they were earlier tonight. Now the Sixers are up 6 early in the second quarter, but they were down a bit here. So we'll see. The Nets are a team.
They're scrappy, fun team, but they're just not going to win anything ultimately.
No, nope. And so we'll see with Golden State tonight. See what they do at home. The Clippers at home for Phoenix. Mike, and I heard this, I think it's the Sunday or Saturday. Yes. So Saturday, 2 games in LA. You have game 4 of the Clippers Phoenix series at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then the Lakers at 10 o'clock. So both teams at home. It's going to be a very busy day. Boy, those folks that work there, I was going to say at Staples, but it's
we all know what you mean. I don't know what the new one is.
It's something.co arena. It's terrible. But they are going to be, crypto.com arena is what it is. Yeah.
And just rolls right off the tongue.
Rolls right off the tongue. It's not the Forum. It's not the Staples Center. It's crypto.com arena. Those folks are going to be going crazy, switching the cord out and all of that kind of fun stuff. But so Saturday will be an interesting day as you look at from an LA perspective to have 2 games in the arena back to back and a belly to belly, as John Sterling would say. Oh, wait, we're talking about basketball and not baseball.
Speaking of New York, they had a similar issue coming up here on the 24th, potential Knicks home game, Rangers home game, and Billy Joel's standing once a month performance. And they've already rescheduled the Billy Joel standing
Oh,
performance. I know you were going to go for the 84th time.
yeah,
But,
yes. I did actually see Billy Joel up very, very close
Billy Joel
earlier.
doo-wop sucks.
Yes, oh God, earlier in a previous lifetime, if you will, when I was working at Syracuse, and I worked a loadout for the Billy Joel concert in the Carrier Dome, and I got there. I said, get there at 9:30, and I got there at 9:30, and he played for another 45 minutes, and I was underneath the stage, probably 20 feet from him, and he played every big song you could imagine, and I had just a great, and there's nothing I could do.
View of his hands. What are you telling me?
I was close.
Okay.
I was close.
And how was it?
Oh, it was fabulous.
Oh,
I expected to get there, hear like one or two songs, and he was going to be done. But I got there early and got to hear every Billy Joel song that I would have wanted to hear from really, really close up.
Well, now because he's played every song everyone's wanted to hear so many times. Now it's about the special guest. Who's he
Yes.
going to bring out with him to play? And they'll play some of the special guest songs and some of his songs together and all that stuff. And some of them are good, and some of them don't quite hit. But what are you going to do? Take a chance.
Yeah.
When you're that age. But anyway, we totally digress.
Yeah.
Back to the NBA, where
yes.
they're probably not bumping Billy Joel in the locker room.
No.
At all. When was the last time you think they played Billy Joel in a locker room? In New York in the 80s, maybe?
Yeah, maybe in the 90s. I mean, he was
Maybe.
still putting out, some albums.
We didn't
back
start
then,
the fire, maybe, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I had the River of Dreams tour, which I think was in the mid 90s.
Kind of was a pussy album, wasn't it? Okay.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's Billy Joel. So yeah, we've spent a lot of time on that for
take us home, Dave.
Yeah. So keep paying attention.
Yeah.
Keep paying attention to the NBA games. There's definitely some compelling storylines and things going on. You got Kawhi's injury, you got Draymond Green getting suspended. Ja Morant, is he going to be back? Sixers playing well, Celtics playing well.
Tyler Hero, broken wrist.
Yeah, Tyler Hero, he's gone. Sacramento looking for a 3-0 lead. There's a lot of compelling storylines here. We'd like to see, maybe some of these series go more than 4 or 5 games just for fun so we can talk about them, but we'll see. But we will be keeping our eyes on the games as well as you should, because it is playoff time and it's exciting stuff. And so we'll continue to follow that here at Think Tank Sports and pay attention to us on the socials and listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Watch us on YouTube as we continue to go through this sports journey with all of you here at Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen as we strive for 5. Have a good night, everybody.